People always used to say to me, it leaves my brain in the right order, and it's so frustrating.
Yeah, you want to say something?
My mum had about 7 mini strokes.
Oh.
Hello, I've long been a supporter of the Stroke Association. When I was younger, I trained in orthopaedics and worked with the physio department, witnessing firsthand how devastating a stroke can be. Numerous patients told me about their utter frustration of feeling trapped in their body with everything else working. But just not being able to communicate, it was so frustrating for them and their loved ones. Stroke survivors need clubs like this one in Wandsworth, which is run by the Stroke Association. Clubs like this up and down the country provide life after stroke, support groups which help stroke survivors to rebuild their lives, doing this valuable work in your community. A stroke is a brain attack that affects over 1 million people nationwide. It's the second biggest killer in the UK, and every year it kills 3 times as many women as breast cancer. Stroke is like a lottery, and something you may not know is that stroke can affect people of all ages. A quarter of adults who have strokes are of working age, just like you and me. Stroke groups like this one offer a lifeline for people who are rebuilding their lives.
Devastating, considering that when it happened she was completely paralysed, blind, couldn't swallow, couldn't breathe. She was just a vegetable laying there. We were able to get her treated within the window of time, and from there she improved dramatically, really.
You two have been together for a long time, haven't you?
Oh, yes, we've been married, what, 52 years?
Yes. Really?
No? Yes. Yeah. And known each other for about 56 years.
Ah, that's wonderful.
Yes.
Earlier this year, I met a young lad who typifies the courage of a stroke survivor. His parents, Jane and Glenn, tell us about the day their 5-year-old son, Sam, was taken ill.
I remember the day, as clear as anything. I carried him home. He couldn't stand, but I thought it was because he was just very tired and needed a good night's sleep. Instinct told me that perhaps, no, there was something more wrong, and we were very shocked to find out that he'd had a stroke. Really shocked.
Sam's parents watched their little boy struggle in hospital.
His speech was slurred. He had no movement in his arms or legs.
He was unable to walk. Oh, goodness.
For 6 weeks, I would say.
Yeah.
I didn't realise stroke happened with children.
But unfortunately, stroke is more common among children than you might think. 10 children and babies have a stroke every week. 3 years on, and Sam is working hard to regain his mobility.
He never gives up, and he doesn't realise how brave he's been. People that have had a stroke can't be forgotten. There are still things that can make their life better.
And even if it is getting 10% more use out of your hand,
They deserve
that.
Yeah.
People with stroke are so often forgotten, and they can be left to suffer with no help. It also creates thousands of carers overnight. So this could mean you caring for your parent, your child, your husband or your wife, completely alone and without help. That's where the Stroke Association comes in, to help people just like everyone at this group here and those who care for them.